The only chance you have no chance. If you had a chance, you need to run lickety split. But you can't run because you're the baddest. Well, Ric Flair, you know what? I'm not a normal looking athlete myself. You know what I'm talking about? I've been in the years of line. It's a privilege and an honor to walk out with Ole Anderson, Lex Luger, and the arm that tomorrow night.
I am not a happy camper. What is Bully Ray's motivation? You know, I know he loves sugar. But I check my pocket. I don't have no donuts. I don't have no cheeseburger. I know you love sugar, but I ain't got none.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here in Nashville, Tennessee, pal. I'm the man.
Look at a match for the total package like Luger and Super Brawl. Super Saturday? What is it? I don't know what it's called. What is it called?
Super Brawl Saturday.
Super Brawl Saturday?
You don't lose faith in winners. And Ric Flair, day in and day out, every day of his life, just keeps winning and winning and winning.
Ric Flair! New York City, Ric Flair! You're gonna find out what hard is all about! I do exactly what I want to do. You say I'm insane. I say thank you very much.
Make a good lucha thing.
I hate God!
Hit the deck! Yes! We love you, Scott Steiner!
Today, woo, I've got the star and profile like never before.
You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
Yeah! Holy hell, if you aren't awake, you are fucking right now, goddammit. Woo! Shit! Alright, now I'm fucking awake. What is going on, everybody? Friday night, Dirt Sheet Dudes. How's everybody doing? Smark, my man. How are you doing over there, sir? He's on mute. Hopefully he remembers.
There we go. Yes, I am jazzed. Absolutely jazzed after that. It's very much a 2000s kind of rock music feel. I expect a chubby guy in like a clown mask to start screaming at any moment.
Well, at this point, I just expect Fred Durst in gray hair to come out.
Believe it or not, it was his birthday last Friday. I wanted to mention that. I had forgotten to mention that.
Really? Wow. How old is he? Like 63, 64?
At this point, probably. I did not do further research.
I don't know, man. He looked it in that little that Lollapalooza, but still sounded good, man. So what are you gonna do?
See,
listen, even when Elvis got fat, he sounded good. You know.
51, August 20th, 1970.
51. Oh my God, do I feel old? Give me a second here to feel old.
He's so old that he's reversed his cap. Now it's front facing. He's given up the ghost.
All right, I needed that. That was good. That was good. I like that. That was good. I needed that. I really did, Smart. I did. I needed some. I needed that after feeling so old. So goddamn old right now after all that. Jesus Christ. Fred Durst is 51 years old. Whew.
That's it. I know I'm not fully committed to doing a Dynamite watch or Rampage watch along right now, but Eddie Kingston is fighting Miro right now, sort of impromptu, and he has on a pair of jean shorts and Timberlands. And this is he's very much staying true to his New York lineage here.
Oh, shit.
I'm very impressed.
I actually forgot that shit was even on. Hold on a second here. Let me.
That's right.
Let me see if I can get that pulled up. Hold on just a second here. Let me see if I can get that going or not. Let me see. I'll do the best I can here, and we'll see what's going on. Let's see if I hit play here. What's going to happen? It's going to lock up. All right. I love when computers lock up. That's like the best thing in the world when they lock up on you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Looks like that match is over now. Looks like we got the Tay Conti and the Bunny up next, Mark.
It wasn't necessarily a match. I guess it was Fuego del Sol came out, Miro attacked him, and then Kingston came because Miro's been talking negatively about him in promo. He took off his Timberlands. Oh, my.
Oh,
which
well.
I guess if they're steel toe, that's actually a formidable weapon. That's pretty good strategy on his behalf.
Well, you give me little Brazilian Tay Conti versus a Bunny, and I'm probably going to be a happy camper.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely.
You're a little bit ahead of me in terms of the highly legitimate cable television that we were both viewing these from.
Oh, wow.
Your satellite feed is a little bit quicker.
Never ahead of you. But the wife made a phone call today and did some complaining about the internet, and they did some tweaking, if you will, sir. So hopefully it's a little bit better. I guess while we're waiting, because they just went on commercial, right?
They sure did, yeah. We're seeing a commercial for the Crossroads reality show.
That's right.
Roads to the Top.
Roads?
That seems like that's going to be a lot of fun if you like self-important narcissism.
Which most people do. I guess we can knock plugs out during this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that real quick. All right, so that means we start with the high marks. That's right. It's Mojo. It's Cheeseman. It's G-Wiz. It's where you should be if you are cool. That's right. This is where the cool people go. The cool people, they go to Mixer.com/Metal Mitt Network. That's right. 2 T's and Mitt. Mixler.com/Metal Mitt Network. You can find them right there. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday nights, and you do want to be checking them out. And of course, you've got Bobby Anthem and Bobby Blades. They are the Inhumans on the Inhuman Experience. You definitely want to be over there listening to those guys. Find them on all the usual podcast platforms. Definitely go over there, subscribe. And of course, you've got the Everything Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. It's Eric, it's Doug, it's Daniel. It's a great cast of characters having a great time, and you should be over there checking them out on all the usual podcast platforms and Blog Talk Radio. And of course, you've got Stephen Milan. He's over there. He's sharing the show, and he is reviewing movies over there on Letterboxd, boxd.com/Stephen Milan, put 2 L's in Milan. And of course, reviewing movies is what I will be getting back to, along with Smart for the first episode, jumping over there doing draft day. Do not forget to check out Hollywood Hangout next week, Friday, right here, mixer.com/DirtSheetDudes. Definitely running back here one more time. Appreciate you joining me, Smark, on that. And you guys know where to find us. So, Smark, let it roll on your plug, sir.
You got it. Mondays, 8:30 on the Metal Mid Podcast Network. It is Cheese on Sports with Cheese. Man, we got college football starting this weekend. 2 weeks away, under 2 weeks away for the start of the NFL season. So they'll be talking about that. Talk about UFC as always, as ever. And Sundays, 10:30 a.m. You also want to be listening to the Motor City Machine Guns with Mojo and with Dirk, of course. But last, never ever least, our friends at Planet Raconteur. Give you a little extra flourish because I see the man Bobby Anthem is in the house. It's Bobby Anthem, Papa Dave, Sincere, and Yug Nasty. Season 1 is complete, all 16 episodes, and Season 2 is ongoing. So you want to subscribe because you want to be alert, you want to be prepared, you want to be ready. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. You know this, Boxman.
There you go. Season 1 complete. Season 2 is ready for you. So go ahead and be able to listen to that. All right. That means we can get back into to see if anything's going on Rampage, which I will jump into right now. Put it back up on my screen. Give me a second here. Rampage. Oh, we've got, Tay Conti. Good Lord. Give me a second here.
Yep, she seems particularly jazzed as well this evening, dancing about.
I'm jazzed to see her.
Mm-hmm.
And the bunny.
That's right.
Very, very competitive match going to be happening here. But anyway, while we're watching this AEW match here, I guess we can get into a little bit of AEW news as we go through. It looks like Gangrel kind of went on his podcast, his Fangin' and Bangin' podcast, and said he was actually...
Great name.
Oh, absolutely. It is a good name. It is good. Fangin' and Bangin' is just cool anyway. He was actually scheduled to make an appearance on Dynamite in Milwaukee, complete with the Brood entrance and all. However, the appearance was nixed when AEW decided to go in a different direction after Edge decided to use the Brood entrance and had the Brood bath on Seth Rollins. So, wow, WWE kind of scooped him, if you will, Smark.
Yeah, I wonder if they knew that they had this planned or not. Seems weird that, just for whatever reason, I guess, Christian's about, but bringing Gangrel out in Milwaukee seems a little bit peculiar. We were talking about Friday. I was thinking that he might come out with Edge at SummerSlam, but that obviously did not happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I honestly, I was expecting it too. Now we find out what happened. Now, the little update to this story, though, is that AEW still paid Gangrel, even though he wasn't used.
That's nice of them, I suppose.
Yep. Well, he's saying he still got paid, even though he was never used on the show. It was just one of those things that didn't work out. I guess they felt bad too, and just paid the guy. I mean, you can take this two ways, Mark. You can take this as, all right, if you keep doing this, you're gonna fucking drain yourself and the company, or you can take it as this is really good business.
Right. They had agreed upon something, and they decided to honor that commitment. So that's nice of them.
I mean, a wrestling company honoring their commitment is probably, great view. Great view. The cameraman needs to be tipped. If anyone knows this cameraman, please send him something on PayPal for me.
He's doing the Lord's work.
Or Cash App or whatever you can find him on. But
Venmo.
Venmo, there you go. It's just, I know it's rare for a wrestling company to do the right thing, I guess. But really good on them to go ahead and take care of him, even though they didn't use him. It's not his fault this happened. It's not his fault WWE decided to go ahead and do the whole Brood thing. So I think that was really, Tony Khan is doing some things to make him look really stupid. And then suddenly, you think he can't get any worse, and he redeems himself, Smark.
Nah, that's it.
Doing stuff like this. So, I don't know. I think this is good on a company to keep doing this. Like I said, there's a couple ways to look at this. You can look at it as you can go broke doing this, or this is how a company should work that has, news that it's in the positive, number one, and it's got money behind him, number two. I mean, it's not like it's not like they gave this guy $20 million to come in and do a fucking appearance,
Right.
So whatever they gave him is probably worth it. Oh, here comes Penelope Ford. Speaking of gifts to this match.
She means business.
Tay Conti is getting the upper hand here. But Penelope is distracting her, which is going to... Tay Conti still with the kick. And now she's... now Penelope's up on the ring. Bunny up. The blade handed her the knucks.
Yeah, you were
And
quite
she
a bit
uses
ahead of
them.
me.
She uses the knucks. Aubrey Edwards doesn't see it. 1, 2, 3. The match is over. Am I still ahead of you?
Yep. I'll go ahead and rectify that shortly, but yeah.
Oh, and the bunny opens her mouth with her tongue piercing, and plenty of guys just got boners, as did I. Anyway, Penelope's happy in the ring. Oh, they're looking at each other very lustfully.
Yep. And unfortunately, we did not have a slide whistle ready for this moment, but
Oh, if Tony Khan goes HLA, I am down for it.
mhm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. Penelope even gave the little lip bite. I love the lip bite. Tay Conti rolling out of the ring. But man, there's a lot of silicone in that ring. Okay.
Yes, the buoyancy is rather high. You don't have to worry about anybody drowning at the moment.
No, absolutely. You could float if you needed to. Okay, this is a commercial. This is a commercial. All right. So there you go. Anyway, I think it's pretty cool. They paid Gangrel to not even appear, but felt bad for what happened. Speaking of AEW, got a couple more things to get into, Smark. Number one, the other thing I want to get into here. AEW is kind of following in the footsteps of WCW and Impact, which take that as you will. Looks like they have found a home for AEW dark tapings, and that's Universal Studios. That's Universal Studios in Orlando, Smark. They may be following in Impact's footsteps, but I got to tell you something. They have already surpassed Impact in many ways. In buzz, in keeping relevant, in viewers, damn near everything. They've already surpassed Impact. So I think they're not making the same mistakes. Just because they're going to Universal Studios doesn't mean that they're cursed in any way. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, I get you. I mean, the jokes write themselves, obviously.
Oh,
Now there's going to be like all kinds of what's so-and-so doing in the AEW zone, that kind of shit. Not that there really wasn't that anyway. There's already been people who have been critical of them signing WWE people, regardless of their actual talent potential or what AEW benefits from having them, just for the mere fact that they are former WWE people, and that's a taboo for some people for some reason, I don't know. But I will say they need to capitalize on this in a way that Impact never did. They need to have like actual segments of people just like interacting with the Universal theme park rides and venues and things like that. The fucking like mass characters and whatnot.
You're right. I think that would be a good thing, and I think that might be maybe that's where they'll go. If they don't, you're right. They are missing, a little bit of an opportunity there. But here's what Tony Khan said. He said, before Dynamite, we used to tape dark. That's going to change. I'm going to tape Elevation before Dynamite now, Khan said. So it's going to be a shorter Elevation, and I may add matches that I'll explain where I'll add them, and I'll explain where I'll add them from. I'm going to procure a venue for use to tape dark and other content that'll be great. And I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be tremendous. And it will be where we'll shoot dark and we'll do tapings, and it'll be as it's been a developmental situation, and it'll continue to be developmental. So looks like they're going to kind of just keep doing those two shows as they're developmental at Universal. All right. I don't see a bad thing here. I really don't see a bad
not
thing.
really.
No, and again, this is another one you can look at two ways. Oh, they're going down that same path, or hey, this is going down the same path, but they've definitely stayed away from making the same mistakes that those companies have made so far.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there is a huge difference between doing your developmental show where you just use to get people to, improve and development and like just become more experienced, having more matches under their belt and things like that, versus having your actual main A show being at a sound set somewhere. It's a whole different ballgame because they're still out there touring and going to different venues, different arenas and whatnot for Dynamite and for Rampage. So it's entirely different than doing your regular weekly show in just a stationary venue.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done this at Daly's Place if they wanted to, but
Yeah.
I think them going to Universal is a good thing, and I guess we'll just see what happens from there. But I think you're right. I think it'd be great if they decided to go out there and interact with the Universal, staff.
Genuinely, I mean, I know that they've kind of, in wrestling in general, has kind of moved on from this as they've gone to live crowds now, but there is a big opportunity. There's a good opportunity for a cinematic match that takes place in a theme park. Like, there is so much potential there.
Ooh, you are correct, sir. That could be that could be very Beverly Hills Cop 3-ish. Let's call Judge Reinhold right now.
All right. I do have him on speed dial. I knew this day would come.
Oh, you too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not you too. I don't know Bono, but I know Judge Reinhold.
I don't want to know Bono.
I wouldn't want to know Bono either.
I mean, I'm a U2 fan, but, I know they're not I'll never sit here and tell you they're an amazing, amazing band. They're good. I like their sound. I've had a lot of fun at their concerts. Let's just leave it at that. I had a lot of fun at one of their concerts, but we'll just leave it at that again.
And this is actually kind of a weird thing, and I'm not going to tell every story because it gets to be long, and we hear all night members of my family while U2 was on the radio. So it's become sort of like Christmas. So it's a ritual throughout my family where if like any of us are in the car or whatever and YouTube comes on a radio station, we will automatically just instinctively turn it off.
Oh.
So nobody in my family listens to YouTube because we believe that they have cursed us in some way.
Oh, that's not nice. Again,
It's a weird superstition, but it is a superstition to do it. Okay, and now we got Brandon Cutler out here in a full-on Zubaz outfit. I figured you would pop for this.
I do see the Zubaz outfit. Speaking of Zubaz, last night our Wi-Fi decided to take a shit, and I put on a movie. I decided to put on Drop Zone. You ever seen that one, Smark?
Yeah. Okay.
You've seen it?
Honestly, I don't know if I've ever heard of it.
Okay. Wesley Snipes. It's got Wesley Snipes. All right, it's a Wesley Snipes movie. It's got Yancey Butler. It's got Gary Busey in it. Gary Busey is obviously the bad guy in this movie.
You're speaking my language.
Yep. He at one point in the movie, he comes out. He finds out that one of his crew is being questioned by the U.S. Marshals, and he comes out. And their skydiving team. And of course, who else but Gary Busey comes out in Zubaz and skydives in Zubaz and kills a guy in Zubaz while skydiving. I mean, fucking amazing, right?
That is absolutely phenomenal. That is a selling point for this movie.
I mean, look, if Zubaz wasn't selling back then, I don't know how. But when Gary Busey's wearing your shit, you've made it. You've made it. I see Christian and Kazarian back there now. My feed locked up. Smark, you still there?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Something's a little bit late.
I think my internet might have locked up for a minute there.
Yeah.
I think it's getting better. It may be. I don't know. I mean, I'm 7 shots in, so I'm not quite sure. But it looked okay. It's better now. I get the
Yeah, I think everything's fine.
Yeah. Here, let's go and play some of this. Here, let's go.
Just throw us your bitch-ass man-baby stooge.
Well, I think we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event.
Oh shit, main event already? Are you fucking holy shit? Man, this hour goes way too fucking fast. I'm telling you, man, they're gonna have to fucking. This show will be 2 hours eventually. And speaking of, AEW shows, Dynamite did very well this week. No records. CM Punk didn't pop any records or anything, but he did give them their 3rd best audience in history. But again, listen, 1.172 million viewers on TNT. I don't think that's a bad number. I really don't, man. I really don't. And I mean, let's face it. Most of their viewers that were tuning in religiously probably were already. We knew about this. It had been teased already. This is probably going to be their average number most weeks, in my opinion. You think?
I mean, I'm curious about it because they sort of had a golden opportunity put forth in front of them with the whole Punk coming out Friday, and then everybody was tuning in to see what they did Wednesday. And I know that we already talked about it after the fact, after on Wednesday. The more I think about it, the more surprised I am by how kind of lackluster that card was, because you have. Everybody's going to be tuning in to see what you're doing. It's one good match, but then even on paper, the names that they had announced, it's like everybody's watching. You have in their wingmen, you have the Gun Club, you have fucking 2 teams. Like you're rewarding people that are like hard to be the elite and watch all the dark and elevation and that kind of stuff, when you should probably be trying to do more to draw the more casual fans that are intrigued.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It does seem like they depended on CM Punk to bring in the most viewers and people to stay after Punk, left.
Right, which they did not.
No. The Punk segment did good. I believe the Punk segment was at like 1.3 million. But after that, people started dropping off.
Believe it or not, it wasn't even the highest rated segment.
No, it wasn't, which was...
Because everybody initially tuned in at the to see the Orange Cassidy, Matt Hardy thing.
Right.
And then they stayed on to see the Lucha Brothers, Hollywood Blondes, Varsity Blondes. Sorry. Confused his dad.
I get it.
But then Punk came out, and then people were like, I'm not going to stick around for fucking QT Marshall. I don't even know who QT Marshall is. I'm a casual fan, but I still just accidentally QT Marshall. I'm going to go ahead and turn the shit off.
Yeah, I can't blame him for that. You're breaking up a little bit. Is it me? Is it my internet, or is it yours?
I think it might be you, but I'm not positive.
Me neither, because I'm not getting any... The Mixler is running smooth, and I'm not getting any... Holy shit, your internet's fucking up on Skype. So, I don't know. Let's just keep rolling here. We're on
chat's running fine. My stream's running fine. Everything else is running fine. I don't know. It might just be a Skype issue.
Well, now suddenly you sound fine. So
okay, well, I'm caught up. Let's not acknowledge it. Just everybody look at their shoes.
Well, once again, just keep complaining, and that always works out well for us. So, anyway, Smark, I got something that's going to tie into 2 of our little stories. That one you sent over, and one that I have a little bit of addition to, about a little thing that came out about WWE and not wanting to deal with indie talent anymore.
Yes.
If you want to go ahead and start, I'll wrap this into it.
I am trying, but my dog here is not making that easy. Okay, so this is from the old Wrestling Observer newsletter. There are several in WWE have told us that the word from the top is no more independent and such. Keep in mind, quote, no more doctrine in wrestling really means that, and guarantee this will change time. It says really means that, but they mean rarely means that. Again, there are no proofreaders on any of these fucking websites.
No.
And that AEW can have the independent talent all to itself.
Yeah, let me just say, first of all, I'm not sure if I believe this. Let me just put that out
I don't know
there.
either.
I really don't think I believe this because, let's face it, the guys that are getting over most right now are the talent that came from the indies. And the guys that got over before came from the indies. You know what? We were just talking about CM Punk. There's one right there. You got Daniel Bryan, Danielson, whatever the fuck you want to call him. AJ Styles, indie. Keith Lee was on the indies. Karrion Kross was on the indies. I mean, I could keep fucking naming names that were on the indies. And let's face it, all the guys back in the day that got over, your Jerichos, all those guys were on the fucking indies before they came to WWE. So I'm not sure I believe this article, number one. It looks like, in my opinion, Michael Hayes drank some wild turkey and made a phone call to Meltzer.
Well, yes, as he's been known to do. I think it's really going to be more of just an inverse of what we've been seeing, where for a couple of years now, they had been signing a lot of independent talent and then occasionally just, doing the kind of pet projects that they like to do, signing this big jacked guy. This is a former bodybuilder, former football player here and there, but it was more seldom than it was the sort of rule. It was more of a rarity. And I think now it's going to be more the bigger guys, more the bodybuilders, ex-football players, that kind of thing, with just the occasional standout independent talent brought in. I think it's, like I said, it's going to be an inverse of what they had been doing the last couple of years.
Yeah, it could be. And only time will tell what NXT brings up. As they bring them up is the only thing that's going to actually be the one thing that's going to let us know what's going on. So I guess we'll see as time goes on. But Tony Khan responded to this with a meme or mem. I still don't know how to say it correctly. Meme?
I believe it's one of those things where it's actually supposed to be pronounced mem or whatever, but it's in the popular lexicon as being meme.
Okay. That actually quoted a really good movie. I mean, an amazing movie. That is Boiler Room, where I'm going to go ahead and play you the scene. How's that? I'm going to play the scene because it's amazing, and here it is.
Sorry, man. It's my mistake. Shit, I'm so sorry. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Fucking dumbass.
Get the fuck out of here.
What?
Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Just pick your ass up out of that Italian leather chair and get the fuck out of this room.
That is Ben Affleck, yes.
Come on, let's go, Schlep Rock. Out.
Schlep Rock.
That's it. We expect everyone here to treat their coworkers with a certain level of respect. Okay, before we get started, I have one question. Has anyone here passed the Series 7 exam?
This is for
I have a Series
stockbrokers.
7 license.
Good for you. You can get out too.
What? Why?
We don't hire brokers here. We train new ones. That's it, Skippy.
That was the line there. We don't hire brokers. We train new ones. And that was it. Now, if you've never seen this movie, Boiler Room, you must. It is an incredible fucking movie. Incredible. I love it. I love this movie. You seen this one, Smark?
I have not.
Oh, my God. Oh. Great. Great fucking movie. Absolutely amazing. There are some things in that movie that definitely could be that's gonna have to be one that you might have to join me for. I'll have to force you to watch it. The funny thing is,
I'm done.
no, go ahead. Oh, you're breaking up. Go ahead.
And I was gonna say, usually a good film that it doesn't involve if it doesn't involve naked teenagers being murdered or just a black comedy, I probably haven't seen it.
Okay. No, there's no teenagers being murdered. But it's a very good movie, nonetheless. My uncle got in trouble for exactly what these guys get in trouble. You do know what a boiler room is, right, Smart?
Mm-hmm.
The term boiler room means basically it's a stock market scam where they sell you these little tiny stocks, but they make them sound like they're Apple or Microsoft or something like that, you know? My uncle actually went to jail over some stuff like this.
Sort of the stock equivalent.
Yeah, my uncle went to jail.
Of Fantasy.
Oh yeah. My uncle went to jail over shit like this. Exact same stuff. The boiler room shit. He basically had a boiler room. Man, I remember going in there and I looked around and I said, "This place is a fucking boiler room." My uncle went, "Don't say that here." I was like 16 and I'm like, "It's a fucking boiler room." Huh?
I see you don't want to point out the illegal activities.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell, you could see what it was, but I mean, oh my god, it was a goddamn nightmare. Somehow my dad's phone number got out there. People were calling him to, oh my god, this guy took my life savings, and I was like, oh my god. I don't claim this guy as an uncle. I actually beat the shit out of him one night at a party. Wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. I mean, I hit him, but it wasn't my fault.
It's funny is I'm just so used to situations like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. It had never happened, but he swung at me. He punched me. You don't punch me.
Mm.
I'll give you one, but you ain't getting it. Yeah, that's about it. All right. But anyway, I'm not getting into this. I did spear my uncle through a set of bushes, though. I speared him. It was pretty cool. It's on video. I'll never put it out.
I was really hoping you were going to say like through a door.
No, I'll I hit my head on the door, and then I went out there and I kicked his ass. No, I didn't do that. Anyway, we got Christian versus Brandon Cutler up here right now, which is like
it's a tag team match.
I mean, is this fucking WWE Heat? Matter of fact, you know what? I'd be happier. I'd be happier if it was Heat. Oh, Kenny Omega getting involved. Why is this not a DQ? What is going on here? What kind of match is it? Is this a handicap match that I missed?
No, it's a tag team match. It's Cutler and Omega versus Christian and Kazarian.
Okay, there you go. Oh, Christian with the DDT. He gets another one to Brandon Cutler, which again, Brandon Cutler to me is like, I'm supposed to be excited about this guy. I'm supposed to care at all. I don't. I never will. It won't happen. But anyway, Christian got his balls between the, what is that thing? The turnbuckle. Right? That thing, right?
Oh, yes. So the technical term. That whole thing.
There you go. That's the scientific term for it. His balls between the turnbuckle. I get him and Kenny Omega back and Kazarian and Kenny Omega back and forth. Christian goes for the unprettier to Kenny Omega. No, Omega backs out of it. He's going to leave Cutler in the ring by himself. Yes, he is. Leaving Cutler in the ring, the chicken shit heel that Kenny Omega is. Fuck you, I'll keep the belt, basically is what he's saying. Don Callis in his pink suit. I like the pink suit. Oh, Christian with the spear picks up Cutler. I see an unprettier coming up. What about you? Oh, yes, there it is. Unprettier. 1, 2, 3, and rolls him over for the pin, and the crowd goes home happy from Rampage. There you go.
That's it.
That's it. Rampage is over. Decent show.
I think it was a taped one this week, so that was kind of that takes some of the oomph out of it. But I think all in all, it was a solid show. Like the fact that it's an hour, even if some of the matches are a little bit more palatable.
Yeah, it's only an hour show, so it's not that bad really to go into. Not that bad at all. But Smark, you got a few more here. I really don't have but like one or two more, three more maybe. Go ahead and keep going, man.
This one's a little bit. This is actually not necessarily a news story. I didn't send it to you, but as I'm starting to pull the tabs down, see if that would help things. Cornette on his podcast apparently said that Tony Khan has come up, Vince, has him in a waist lock and is going to give him the old Iron Sheik to be Brian Blair. And like,
gonna humble him?
I'm really starting to watch that some kind of terminal illness that we're just not being made aware of, because he's been saying some very complimentary things that are very un-Cornette like.
They are, but I think Cornette's starting to see that at least Tony Khan is a good person, no matter what he thinks of the company. So I think he's having a tough time with that in his mind. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Sure.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Well, it's going to be kind of confusing because they present the best potential threat to Vince. And I know that he doesn't like WWE at all. And he doesn't like Vince at all. But like, he's kind of having to weigh the balance, checks and balances of, is supporting the Young Bucks worth it if they can take down Vince? Like, I feel like that's the ultimate core of his dilemma.
Yeah. Yeah, I see where you're going there. I do. But man, you're really... Man, I wish you would... I don't know if I need to restart or if you need... I don't know. But...
I tried it. I could call back and see if that changes anything.
Well, I'm definitely not going to restart. So let's keep rolling a little bit, see if it works itself out. It sometimes does. Oh, Smart's going to go ahead and give it a try calling back real quick. So, while he's doing that... Oh, well, there he is right there. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, everybody. All right, let's see if that helped out a little bit. Smark, my man. Smark?
Maybe let's see.
Oh, wow, that did help a little bit.
I don't know. Every little bit helps, I suppose.
Yeah, it did help. All right, well, keep going, man.
All right, so I guess since we're still kind of on the old AEW momentum train here, I didn't mention they had a bit of a public consensus. This is again from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Behind this week's weaker Dynamite lineup, in today's Observer Dave notes there are several changes made to the show. One match pulled due to 2 COVID possibilities, both fully vaccinated. 2.0's original angle was nixed due to Matt Lee's wife giving birth, and the Gangrel appearance canceled due to similarities, as we mentioned, to the bloodbath or broodbath, as they're now calling it, idea. SmackDown last week, and as you mentioned, it goes on to say that he was still paid for his services, but yeah, so apparently it wasn't necessarily intended because it is the pandemic era.
Yeah, and again, 2 guys positive for COVID that are both fully vaccinated. Let's just let that settle for a minute. But yeah, I mean, it's the show didn't seem like it was thrown together though to me. So I guess that was a good thing. I mean, good their changes, and obviously number 2. Congratulations to Matt Lee having a baby. That's great. The wife having a baby. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And
which I gotta say, it's got to feel good for his wife, because obviously the fact that he had, that she just gave birth meant that she was pregnant during their time in NXT, as ever rise. And then imagine the fucking roller coaster you have to be on being a pregnant woman or being an expectant father to get fired and then like have to try to find a new job and then be fortunate enough to land something so quickly and to be in the position that they're in because they seem to be sort of moving upwards up the ladder in AEW. People seem to really be liking them.
Yeah, kind of a little roller coaster for them, that little family right there. But looks like they're going to be just fine, which is pretty awesome. But I don't know, man. Again, the show didn't seem like it was thrown together or like there were major changes right before the whole thing.
I think some of that has to do with the fact that they actually build their roster. Where it's like, even if you don't like this person or that person, most of them are at least treated like they are actual credible people. And it's not just like how we were talking about, at SummerSlam that they just threw Carmella out there to throw Carmella out there. Like, it is... There's actual plans for these people in place, and they're actually trying to make everybody look like actual stars and might perceived that way by the rest of us.
Well, it might explain why they had QT Marshall out there trying to do kip-ups and look like a badass. Oh, man.
This is true.
I just put a Starburst in my mouth, and it's making my mouth water. Oh, that's good shit. A pink lemonade one.
Good shit.
The bad thing is I found it.
Okay.
Bad thing is I found it on my kid's floor and ate it. It was wrapped. But leave me alone. Oh, shit. That is good shit.
I can't say I've done something.
I got to bring some of these next time I got Cottonmouth. Those things are mouth-wateringly delicious. Oh, Jesus. We got to get Starburst as a fucking sponsor, man. Holy shit. We got to get Starburst. We got to get Starburst as a sponsor, man. That's good shit right there. Wow. Been a long time since I've had a Starburst. A very long time.
Something about potheads absolutely love, because there is a kid in my high school that was showed up to class stoned just out of his mind and was talking to me trying to how he managed to get the flavor into the Starburst. And it was one of the more like just amusing moments of my high school because he was like going at all these like just this in-depth how it was possible that they injected this fruit flavor into this hard candy shell.
Well, however they get it in there, that's good stuff right there. I'll tell you that. I like it. Good shit. And you're still breaking up a little bit, but no big deal. What was that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just fine.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It could be me. It could be you. We'll maybe as I keep closing websites, it'll get better. Who knows? Let me get into one real quick here. The IIconics, Smark, actually are taking bookings now. They put out a picture of themselves, which is very nice, on Instagram. Twitter, I'm sorry. And they are now calling themselves the Inspiration with 2 eyes. They do inspire me to do something in the bathroom. But that's about it. But they are ready, taking bookings, and back together again. So what do you think? I think I'm
It's undeniable that they had a fan base built up for themselves.
A fan base indeed. What kind of fan base is the question, my man?
Well, the kind that they very flexible use socks or things of that nature.
Now, did you see this picture, Smart?
So it is they're there two rather photogenic people, as it were.
They're both in black leather both in thigh-high boots with very basically underwear on, and I gotta tell you, put a girl in thigh-high boots, I am suckered in immediately. I have a thing. I have a thing for thigh-high boots. I don't know why, but I do.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I feel the exact opposite way about that. For whatever reason, that aesthetic is I find it unpleasing. I find it a little scary. I don't know why.
I've
Not in a good way. There's definitely a good kind of scary, but
I don't know, man. I see thigh-high boots. I'm a happy man. Maybe it's because I hung out at the strip club for a long time, but I'm a sucker for. Basically, I'm a sucker for hooker boots. Let's be honest. I've made my wife wear them. I've made my wife wear them more than once. Let's just leave it at that. Anyway, if you want to book them, they do have bookings up. You can go to either one of their social media accounts and check it out right there. They've also launched a podcast, of course, called Off Her Chops. We'll just leave it at that. I'm not quite sure what to say about that, so we'll just leave it there and move on. Yeah, I guess we'll see what that one's about. I mean, it's better than Oral Sessions.
Oh, yes.
Not
well,
much.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I enjoy some oral sessions from time to time.
Oh, I mean, if you're sitting there in hooker boots giving me oral sessions, I am probably coming in your mouth. But but that's neither here nor there. Well, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, okay. Probably.
Bit of a starburst.
I'm probably going to starburst in your mouth. Okay.
Going to melt their mouth, not in their hand. I know that's not Starburst's slogan, but I still think taste the rainbow.
Oh, I will starburst all over you. I'll just starburst here. I'll starburst there. I'll starburst everywhere. If you got hooker boots and you're, yeah. Anyway, let's just move on, Smark. Probably a good idea. Just
we're down, and we're done. We're good.
Oh, okay. There you go. What else you got, man?
Let's see here. We're gonna keep it moving. Like I said, there's not a whole heck of a lot. So I think this is actually maybe my last one. We'll see. This is from F4W Online. This is WWE SummerSlam return with a last-minute political deal. Oh, we love talking politics here.
Oh, yeah.
Brock Lesnar's appearance on the end of WWE's was a last-minute deal and one partially made to appease one of their major broadcast partners, according to Dave Meltzer. Lesnar appeared after the Universal Champion Roman Reigns' victory over John Cena in last Saturday's main event. Meltzer said that it was confirmed by those closest to the situation that, quote, it was literally a last-minute deal that was put together for a number of reasons, all in some form or function of AEW and John Cena leaving, noting Punk's positive relationship with Fox from the WWE. Meltzer said the network was upset at WWE for not making a big offer to Punk to keep him from going to AEW. That wouldn't have worked. And that politically WWE, quote, felt the need to get Lesnar and Becky Lynch to the situation with Fox and WWE is always up and down, with the key being that Fox's SmackDown is used to Peacock, the streaming service, particularly since Fox has its own streaming services that they are rolling out. Oh, goody. Lynch also returned at SummerSlam and won the SmackDown Women's title in a surprise, while her return to WWE was never in doubt. Meltzer said, quote, as always, Lesnar's timing got him an even better deal. Friday SmackDown is expected to give a better introduction as to when the Reigns Lesnar match will take place. That didn't happen. Either Saudi Arabia or further down the promotional schedule.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind that the fact that that Lesnar decided to take advantage of them in their time of need, if you will, which basically is exactly what this article is saying he did. the fact that it was kind of in reaction to CM Punk is, I think that might be a little bit of bullshit. Maybe it is, but and like you said, them trying to get Punk back, I don't think any deal they made him would have been worth it. I don't think he would have taken it. He did not want to come back to WWE. He has almost made that clear in the promos he's been cutting. He did not want to go back to that toxic environment, and I cannot blame him. This is the same company that when he had a staph infection, basically told him to shut up and take a Z-Pack. You know, I can't blame the guy.
I mean, the only thing that can come even the idea of like maybe if they gave him creative control, but then they A wouldn't do that, and B, I don't even think that would matter.
No, I don't think it would have either. I really don't think that was the issue with Punk. I think that he just didn't want to come back. It was a toxic environment for him. He wasn't happy there, which is why I think he's at AEW. And you know what? I also think it's bullshit that WWE had a good relationship with him through Fox, because this was also when CM Punk was telling The Miz to suck a fucking blood money covered dick. So I think that the relationship, whole angle on this, I think this whole article's got some fucking a little bit of bullshit to it, in my opinion. But I mean, that's just me. I could be completely wrong. But I mean, I do see where this was a reaction to CM Punk with Becky Lynch coming back, Brock Lesnar coming back, a little audience shock. They needed something big to counter the CM Punk thing. But man, Brock Lesnar and Becky Lynch aren't CM Punk coming back after 7 years of being out of the wrestling business. I'm sorry. It's just not the same thing. It's not. It's great for WWE. It's a pretty cool moment. But it's not CM Punk leaving for 7 years, quitting WWE the way he did, literally walking out on top. Walking out on top. He did. He walked out on top of that fucking company, left for 7 years, and suddenly came back. And he's back, as he says, with a completely other company. So it's just not the same. It's just not the same. It's a big deal in, I guess, in WWE terms, but it's just not as big of a deal as CM Punk coming back, is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the Brock Lesnar thing, I think we all kind of knew this was going to happen at some point. It seemed inevitable that their paths should meet, whether or not they kind of pulled the trigger a little bit. The Becky Lynch thing was definitely reactionary, because I don't think, like, you can't tell me that was the plan all along, because, there's the idea of Sasha wasn't there because of unforeseen circumstances, air quotes. So you can't tell me that the whole plan from the entire time was to just book a match with Sasha. Sasha wasn't going to show up. You planned the entire time the event was going to be Becky coming out. That's just not believable. At least rushed her out for, to kind of get the buzz swaying back towards them and kind of get the pendulum swinging in terms of momentum back their way. Because, I mean, everybody was talking about it. It was the big story of the week. It was a big story for CM Punk coming back, so they needed something to get people talking about them, at least.
Well, it's almost like they were like, all right, well, they had a guy come back. We're going to have a guy and a girl come back. Yeah, right. That'll be better. Is it? Was it better to have Becky come back and completely wreck Bianca Belair? I know Bianca Belair got her comeuppance a little bit tonight, but still, there's, I don't know, man. It's a completely different dynamic, in my opinion.
Right, and I mean that's another thing is like there are definitely going to be people, and I don't fault them at all, that are excited about this, that want to see Becky come back, that want to see Brock come back. There was a lot of people that were very excited after SummerSlam. But for me, the thing is like, it's unfortunately a case of kind of more of the same. Is like even the surprise returns are still just the same people coming in, coming out. It's like we, continue to get Goldberg coming back. We continue to get Brock Lesnar coming back. It's the same names versus on the AEW side of things, it's a guy who hasn't wrestled in 7 years coming back.
Right.
So it's way bigger that we haven't seen before. They hadn't gone that well numerous times because they haven't even had the opportunities.
Yeah, and the other, I guess, funny thing is that USA Network or NBC Universal isn't very happy about the fact that they've had both these guys come back, and they had them both come back on the SmackDown brand, being that SmackDown mainly promotes the Peacock brand, streaming service, and like you said, Fox is now coming out with their new one, which they want, but NBC Universal USA, they've got a streaming brand too, and they're on Hulu. So they weren't very happy with the fact that they weren't getting any surprises over there on Monday night. And it's just the same old show as usual, which, yeah, it's did some good ratings this week, but let's see what happens next week.
There was a theory that was being floated out there by Alvarez, and I was actually thinking this is actually kind of interesting because at first it seemed outlandish, but like maybe not. Was this week Raw ended up doing 2 million, where the last couple weeks it's been doing 1, but it's just lackluster numbers. There's been some even record lows thrown in there from week to week, but this week 2 million. And the theory is that he kind of posed was that if you haven't been watching WWE for a minute, you haven't been watching for a couple of months, even maybe a year or more, you don't know who's on what brand. You start hearing, or you decide to check out SummerSlam, or you see on Facebook that these people are coming back. Brock Lesnar's coming back. Becky Lynch is coming back. You tune into Raw expecting to see Brock Lesnar, Becky Lynch, not knowing that they're on the opposite brand. It could be a potential possibility. Ended up getting neither of them. So I'm curious to see what Raw is going to do next week after the kind of buzz from SummerSlam died down, and after people know that that's no big names are on brand.
Yeah, it's a interesting little thing there because you're right. People do hear about it, and then everyone knows about Raw. It's been around so long, and that people do know about it, and yeah, people might be tuning in to Raw to see these people because they think it's the only wrestling show on. Not everybody knows about SmackDown, Not everybody does. So, yeah, I don't know, man. And I can see where USA is kind of a little pissed about this, having, two pretty big people come back. I mean, Brock Lesnar coming back and going back over to SmackDown is huge. Becky Lynch, when she came back, no one knew where she was going to go. People were speculating SmackDown just because Seth is over there. But she was originally on Raw. So it was pretty much up in the air where she went.
Yeah, they give toss.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's that's definitely a interesting way to look at it right there. Most definitely, man. And speaking of kind of the whole Brock Lesnar thing, a few little details. I'm not even sure if these are details. A few little minor things came out about his contract. Basically, what they're saying is that Brock Lesnar's contract is believed to be, remember those words, roughly for a year and a half, according to Fightful Select, which will lead basically into 2023. And it's believed to be for at least 8 matches. And the terms of the contract can be changed during the contract. Jesus Christ, what would you call that? While the contract is being fulfilled, there is room to be negotiated as they go if they want more dates or whatever, which would probably just cost them more goddamn money, in my opinion. So I believe we're not going to see Lesnar as much as we think, but he is back. I would say 8 matches over the next, year and a half is about right for Lesnar. So, looks like I did lose Smark there for a minute. You back there?
I just muted. Yeah, I'm here, just muted.
All right, so it actually probably is your internet tonight, not mine, since I lost
So, yeah, I guess, yeah, potentially.
All right. But yeah, so again, we got Brock Lesnar till 2023. I think 8 matches is probably almost exactly what we're going to see out of him. You know, match every few months here and there, come back, do what he's got to do, beat the shit out of somebody. Well, I guess we'll just have to see what happens with that. So,
yeah.
But
you know, I mean, like you said, I think like if they do end up doing anything more with him extending any of those appearances and shows, it's just going to be even more beneficial to him. It's going to cause them more money. Been making an absolute killing off of these gentlemen.
Well, yeah, I mean, and obviously it's going to be more beneficial to Brock. Looks like him and Heyman know what they're doing when they negotiate a contract. So, I kind of missed this before, but we're going to get into one more little AEW thing. After whatchamacallit, Dynamite went off the air last week, CM Punk came out there and kind of did a couple little appearances to kind of let the crowd leave happy. And if you give me a second here, I'm going to load those up and go ahead and play their part 1 and part 2. We'll go ahead and play part 1 here right now. Let me go ahead and take it off of mute, which will help all of us be able to hear it.
Sometimes the shows can be long, but you sit in your seats and you're enthusiastic and you give everybody here everything you got, because everybody, at least that I've seen so far, gives you everything that they have. I just want to say that I'm super grateful, and I know eventually the luster will kind of wear off and the shine of CM Punk coming out. Just having a good time and listening to Cult of Personality is going to wear off. But just know that until it does wear off, I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep trying to soak it in as much as I possibly can. And by the way, it was a great surprise. I wasn't let down at all, just so you know. Look, I think you're humble CM Punk, but I'm going to speak for everybody. It's a big fucking deal that you're here, man. Seriously, I pinch myself sometimes. Who would have thought in 2021, Christian Cage and CM Punk would be standing in this ring together? Hey, listen. This business, it doesn't owe anybody anything, right? But we give our hearts and souls, and listen, like you said before, sometimes you fall in and out of love with things, but you never truly let it go. And I, for one, am glad you got this passion back, and I cannot wait to see what you do in here, man. Again, it's a big fucking deal here.
So Punk has become the new John Cena of AEW, sending the fans home happy, you know, with a nice little thing at the end. And I thought it was kind of cool, though, that he kind of acknowledged, hey, listen, I know the luster's going to wear off, the whole Cult of Personality thing, basically saying, you know, look, I know I'm the big thing this week, but, you know, things can change. Next week I could be, you know, forgotten about and blah, blah, blah. Not bad. Not bad that he's actually acknowledging that he knows that could happen in wrestling. So, you still there?
Well, yeah, never, no matter how big star you are. I believe so. We shall see. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the second half of that now to see if it will pull up. It doesn't want to pull up. It's not quite pulling up. It wants to. It's there. Here it goes right here. Actually, this is the... he does the whole thing about the respect for the fans and stuff. So, But anyway, I don't need to pull that one up. Basically, I think it's pretty cool, though. They got CM Punk coming out there at the end of these shows, kind of once again, sending the fans home happy. And that's kind of what John Cena does when he's there. That's what The Rock used to do after Raw. He would come out, even as a heel, he would come out and babyface out to the fans and send them home happy. You know, so pretty cool thing they're having Punk do out there. And that is it on that end, Smark. We really, man, this might be a short show because all we got left to do, I believe. Did you have anything else? I don't think you did.
On that front, not really. I mean, I will say what's kind of interesting is I did notice that just the way that he conducts himself, like him, and I think Danielson, when he comes in, like these guys are bona fide, legitimate, just pure stars. Like, I don't think we're ever really going to get to the point where we get where wrestling is, but as close as you can come to it in today's wrestling climate, I think that's what we have right now. Like I've been talking about for a while now where I think, when so-and-so gets here, when so-and-so gets there, like a Miro, once Miro got there, I thought he was going to have an opportunity to really prove himself. Once Andrade got there, I thought it was going to be a really big opportunity for him to prove himself. But these guys, Punk, Danielson, are both already have proven themselves and have both already gotten over, like, in spite of the fact with the people, like, company that they have worked for against them. So the fact that they actually have full-fledged support from AEW, from TNT, from just the whole entire machine around them is only going to be an even bigger, like, opportunity for them to just showcase what they have, to be able to paint with all the colors, all the brushes that they have at their disposal, and not being told to tone shit down. So we're going to be in for a lot of interesting and fun television in the next couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, already coming from the machine that, can make a star, they're going in already, kind of with that label already on them. So yeah, most definitely it's going to be very interesting to see, the whole Punk thing going on with Darby Allin and all that stuff. It's there's a lot of really cool things going on in wrestling right now, mostly in AEW, to be honest with you. But I guess that means we have to get into SmackDown either way, Smart. We knew, and we talked about it on Wednesday, that Pat McAfee was not going to be there, being he tested positive for COVID-19. I must admit, I was shocked. They just blatantly said it. Just didn't even fucking hide it. Went right out. Michael Cole said, Pat McAfee's not here. He tested positive for COVID-19. I said, holy shit. Not even hiding it. Go ahead.
I'm surprised and I'm not surprised simultaneously. I am a little bit surprised that they just blatantly said it because of how much initially that they tried to pretend that COVID wasn't happening and bury their head in the sand, just be full ostrich about it. But there was that moment when Drew McIntyre tested positive and he came out there on Raw and just blatantly said, hey guys, got the COVID, gonna try to be back in time to face Goldberg. So like they this has happened before in the past where they've allowed them to be transparent, but Pat already came out and straight up on his Twitter said it. So anybody that has any sort of general knowledge or follows wrestling online at all already knows about it. So there's really no point in pretending that it's not the case.
No, there was, but they're just kind of known for just kind of staying away from, what's already known and just kind of be like, hey, Pat McAfee's on location tonight. We just can't get to him. Having some problems with the camera. No, they just went out and said, he's got the Rona. I mean, that was basically it. He's got the Rona. That's it. We'll see him in a couple weeks. But we had Kevin Owens with his usual attire on and a tie, and Corey Graves out there tonight to replace Pat McAfee. I think it's telling they needed two guys to replace one.
That was my initial thought as well.
That was my exact. Immediately, I'm like, y'all need two guys to replace one. Boy, McAfee really does have charisma you can't fucking replace, doesn't he? But we saw the whole Becky return as they were kind of introducing all that stuff right there. Becky came out. She basically cut the standard "I miss you guys" promo. For everyone saying that she's supposed to be working like a heel, This wasn't a very heelish promo. I agree her running out of the ring kind of was a chicken shit heel move, but we had Zelina Vega come out, then Carmella came out, bitching she wasn't prepared for the match, which I kind of saw coming. And then Liv Morgan came out. This basically whole segment was a high-pitched shit fest. It wasn't good, Smark.
It's not.
It what?
No, it was not. It's kind of just, it's funny because they just have the same people just over and over again. Like, I think we saw the entirety of their women's division on SmackDown tonight. There was 5
Yeah, pretty much.
people.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we had Bianca. She started off a little bit of a brawl with the remaining 4 women after Becky left. Suddenly we get a 4-way elimination match with those 4 women to see who's the number 1 contender. And it comes down to Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan, which when it came down to those two, I don't think anyone thought Liv Morgan was winning.
Not at all.
No. I think we all knew what was happening there. There was definitely, since they got rid of that rematch clause, I guess this was a better way to get her in a rematch, which, like, anybody would even fucking remember the whole rematch clause thing.
It's funny because they purposely made a note to say that there's not going to be a rematch clause anymore, but it's still basically the same thing because the people that they want to have rematches and want to continue to chase titles get rematches anyway, and the people who they don't want challenging for titles that they wouldn't have had invoke a rematch clause during the rematch clause era aren't challenged for their belts anyway. So it's like it's the same shit. They just basically put out an edict that they'll probably ignore anyway.
Yeah, it was a really, I'm not even going to say clever. It was a cheap, how's that? A cheap way to get out of having the, rematch clause for people you didn't want to have it again, and an easy way to give someone, a rematch that you just want to have by just doing what you do when they just do it in a match. So I don't know. But it did come, obviously, like I said, Belair, we knew she was going to win, and she did. But the one part which I thought they were going to focus a little more on tonight was the Heyman thing, Smark. I really thought they were going to focus a little more on it tonight. They did focus on it. I'm not going to say they didn't. But I thought it would be a little more of SmackDown, and it wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be. We did have a little segment where Heyman was interviewed backstage. Basically, he was asked, hey, who are you with? Are you with Lesnar? Are you with Roman Reigns? And he says, I'm who I've always been with. I'm with the tribal chief Roman Reigns. He goes to walk in, and the door is locked. That was funny. As usual, Heyman sold that like no one else could. Bobby Heenan selling to that one right there. The Usos finally come out, and Heyman's like, the door is locked. And they're like, yeah, we know. Tell us, did you know Brock was going to be at SummerSlam? He immediately says no. They kind of keep interrogating him, but Heyman stood strong on that one. Are they working towards Heyman turning on Roman? I'm not quite sure they are. What do you think, Smark?
It's very weird because I don't know, like it kind of throws the whole dynamic of everything into a weird kind of situation because Heyman isn't a face manager, and I think they're bringing Brock back as sort of a face or a pseudo face just in order to kind of bring an end to Roman theoretically. It's a story that they want to tell. So I don't know if putting Heyman with Lesnar and making him like trying to make him a face would actually be doable.
I think they want you to think that Heyman is going to turn on Reigns, and then he's not going to. But that doesn't mean that Reigns won't still get rid of him. You know what I mean? I think Reigns may still start thinking, well, Heyman's not trustworthy and this and that. So he may still end up with Brock because Roman dumps him for that reason. But I don't know, man. It definitely brought a new dynamic to the whole tribal chief with Paul Heyman storyline. So I'm definitely looking forward to see at least where this is going. They've at least got me hooked into some storyline on this show, because they're losing me on a few things.
Mm-hmm.
But this is definitely an interesting twist to this whole storyline, and something that's going to be fun to follow, hopefully. I guess we'll see as it rolls down the pipeline, Smark.
That's it.
We had Chad Gable out there. He came out there with Otis for a match with Cesaro. At one point, Cesaro started hitting the swing on Chad Gable. Otis jumps him for the DQ, and basically Otis just levels Cesaro. Still, listen, was this the Otis I wanted to see? Not really. But I'm not mad about it. He still has the fire in him. He's still got that evilness to him. It's still fine for me. So I'm still happy to see this whole Otis thing going on. Chad Gable's obviously incredibly talented, and him and Cesaro had a decent match, but I think we all knew Otis was going to jump in for that DQ. It seems like that's where this whole team keeps going. The Alpha Academy.
I think it's going to be a good feud. I like it. I like the pairing. I think at some point we're going to see like Cesaro doing the big swing on Otis, and that's going to look great. So that'll be something to kind of look forward to, and the interaction should be fun. So I'm on board with this one. I'm glad that they're starting to transition into giving different people new feuds. It seems like there's been a lot of stagnancy lately in terms of feuds on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, but who are they going to pair Cesaro with?
It's a good fucking Gulak. Why not?
They've got to pair him with somebody, man, at this point. Do they shoot him back with Nakamura? Can't do that. He's he's got the IC title. You can't do that. Who do you put him with? Who do you throw Cesaro with on SmackDown?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a very good question.
I can't think of one person. I can't think of one person that could do it with. I just don't know. I mean, I know the Street Profits came out to help him tonight, right?
Street Profits came out at the end of the show for what's his name, Balor.
Balor. That's right. So I don't know, man. I don't know who you're going to put him with. So we'll have to just wait and see who they decide to throw him in with. But no names jump out at me on SmackDown to put Cesaro with, because obviously him going against Gable and Otis, he's going to need a partner sometime. I just don't know who it's going to be. I really don't. At this point, my internet decided to go ballistic and cut out for a few minutes. I came back and Big E and Corbin were in the ring. But I did notice when I came back that in the 3 minutes I saw of this segment, Corbin said the word happy about 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Corbin, again, trademarked, is on his way. And Cole said it about 6 times in 3 minutes.
They don't let anything grow organically. Like, they trademark a term and then they make sure that they just beat you over the fucking head with the term over and over and over again. I guess what ended up happening was obviously they were in SummerSlam they're in Las Vegas for SummerSlam. They're in SummerSlam for Las Vegas, if you're dyslexic. And Corbin ended up winning some money at the old casino, and now everything has turned around for old Mansoor Corbin.
Yeah, I love people online being like, "This is the best thing Corbin's ever done. This is why I love Corbin." And I'm like, y'all think this is Baron Corbin doing? This is fucking creative. There's a camera following him. But Baron Corbin isn't.
Give and take. I mean, I don't think it was Baron Corbin's idea. I don't think he's like drawing it up on his own. But I mean, he still has to make it work. And I think he's.
He still sucks.
I mean, a lot of people are going to feel that way, but I think it's actually having him have character development. You don't get character development for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that just have the same role and are sort of just like we saw Dominic Mysterio in the show for the last year. He has had literally no character development outside of him just being Ray's son. Like, that's it. They did more in WCW with fucking David Flair of all people.
They tried to do some character development with Dominic tonight. To let Baby Bird fly, but Ray still came out there.
Yes.
Dominic lost.
Good match, too, actually.
Was actually a good match. And, Ray's out there trying to comfort him, and Dominic's kind of ignoring him, which, I mean, we said when this whole when this whole thing started, we figured eventually Dominic was going to turn on Ray. It was the only way the storyline was going. Whether it was going to be early or later down the road was the only question. When he didn't turn earlier, we knew it was going to be later down the road. Again, it was the only way the storyline goes. We know how WWE works. We know the formula. But damn good match against Sami Zayn. I definitely agree with that. Odd pairing for a match, but I like it. But, I mean, you had Dominic basically ignoring Ray as he's trying to comfort him throughout this match. It's just definitely going to be a little turn. Dominic is going to end up being the heel in this storyline. I got a feeling this may be Ray's taking at least a long break after this.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps. Because, I mean, what else are you really going to have him do? He's done pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think this is a good time for Ray to take a nice little break. We'll just obviously see what happens. But again, Dominic turning on Ray was really the only outcome this whole thing could have had that made any sense. Ray turning on his son would have been ridiculous, but it would have been WWE style. But Dominic turning on Ray was the way it was just headed. It was just the way it was going the whole way. And they've been teasing it for the last few weeks anyway, and obviously it's going to happen sooner rather than later. And we had Roman. He kind of confronted Paul Heyman a little bit. Little passive aggressiveness, would you say, Smark?
You're talking about towards the end here as they were setting up for the main event party segment?
Yeah. Yeah,
I actually, I don't know. I actually kind of read it as being genuine. Like, it kind of made me laugh because I was like, this is an oddly sweet moment between these two grown men on this here wrestling program. Because you have Heyman Heyman goes to give Roman the belt because they're getting ready to go out for this big celebration of the Usos retaining their belt, Roman retaining his belt, and Heyman goes to give Heyman. He gives himself his own belt. Heyman goes to give Roman the belt, and he says, I'm not. This is a family celebration. I'm not supposed to be out here. And Roman looks at him and goes, "You are family." And I was like, "Oh, isn't that cute?" It's a little feel good moment.
No, it's not feel good. It's the Stockholm. It's the Stockholm, Smark. No, you are you.
Yeah, he gave him the Olive Garden energy. When you're here, you're family.
Keep your enemies closer. You see what I'm saying, Smark? Keep them closer.
I don't know if Roman has ulterior motives. That's not the tribal chief I know.
No, that's the tribal chief I fucking know, and I think that's where we're going. I did, again, I saw where you were going with that. And again, that's another one. Man, everything tonight is two ways. You could see that one two ways. The way you saw it as, oh, what a sweet moment, or the way maybe someone who watches too many fucking crime shows sees it as, holy shit, the Stockholm Syndrome. He's starting it with Paul now. So, which I mean, let's face it, if you watch, Paul's already kind of been Stockholmed with him anyway, the way he looks at him on the way to the ring and does this. Number one, I don't know who put that picture out of the Bloodline today. Was that WWE picture?
It might have been. I know they got a new T-shirt out.
You're right, and that was it must have been because that was the T-shirt. That was it. It looks like a Hitman movie, or they're about to drop a hell of a rap album, and Paul Heyman is funding it.
He's Jerry Heller.
Exactly. Paul Heyman, Paul Giamatti, same thing. Same thing. Both just a couple of Jewish guys. All right. But I did notice. I really like that. It was really cool though. But I did noticed that Paul Heyman said we've seen enough of Cena. You think?
I did notice that. Yes, we've seen enough of John, as he called him.
You think you saw the name of the show? You think? No, I don't think so either. I'm joking, of course. But Balor came out. Balor was talking shit. He got jumped. Street Profits came out to help, and basically we went off the air right there. We did jump ahead a little bit. There was a couple more things on SmackDown I guess we could get into. We had Ziggler and Rude versus Boogs and Nakamura. Nakamura and Boogs get the win. I'm happy that they're putting Boogs in the ring with Nakamura, but I see a lot of people like he should just be playing guitar. Why is he in the ring? Why is he doing... Well, you mentioned character development before, Smark, and if the guy just sits there and plays the guitar, where's the development?
Now we have to talk about the thing that stood out the most to me, and I feel like you'd notice this and appreciated this too. His tights. Boog's tights. It is completely designed to be a mock-up version of like photorealistic of a pair of fucking coveralls.
Yeah,
and it is amazing. See, it's like completely denim, like a singlet that is painted up in denim that looks actually fairly realistic, kind of like those T-shirts that have the tuxedo on. And it's very much that vibe. But he even has fucking denim, like painted up to look denim, mock denim, with like knee pads. Like it is the most ridiculous thing, but it like totally works for his character.
It does, man. His character is really great. I enjoy it, but I just see a lot of online hate for this guy, and I'm like, man, give the guy a fucking chance. He hasn't even been out there for 6 months yet. Let's relax a little bit. But
it's a thing. The gimmick is kind of cheesy, but if you're a fan of gimmicks in wrestling, which I am, if you're a fan of like the sort of 80s aesthetic, which you are, it can kind of hit some people in certain soft spots. I kind of go back and forth between it. Sometimes I think it's a little bit corny, and then sometimes I think it's kind of fun. So it's kind of just depends on whatever mood I'm in when I'm watching the show. But he at least has his own niche carved out for him.
Yeah, well, does he? We've had a lot of guitar players on the show lately. You got Elias out there who really plays guitar, but Boogs is a different kind of guitar player. Christopher Kane is watching AEW, says Tay Connie looks hot, and the bunny looks like a sex toy. I can't disagree with either statement.
I'd buy one. Sign me up. That's going on the old Christmas list.
Man, if I could buy that bunny, I would definitely save up some funds. I could just see my wife. What are you saving for, baby? Oh, nothing. All right.
I'd be by the by that it's pretty sustainable because she apparently really loves Oreos, and Oreos are not that expensive.
Ooh.
In the closet somewhere, you feed her Oreos, you take her out when the time is right. It all works.
What if she, and the mega stuffed Oreos would keep her full longer.
She loves those. She raves about them.
Just throwing that
Which
out
I
there.
mean, this is definitely like you could read into this in a lot of different ways, but somebody with like just a very noticeable, very visual, very visually appealing tongue piercing talking about how much they love cream-filled cookies. It's just like, all right, we know what you're into. Just dial it down a little.
I did notice a
family
tongue
show,
ring.
let's say.
I did notice a tongue ring earlier. I commented on it. But man, this not our longest show. Actually, a very short show, Smart. But I think we got into everything. I mean, really, barring CM Punk, this was not a big news week.
No, it's kind of a little bit of a calm before the storm, I guess, because there's obviously more debuts on the way. It's kind of quiet on the Adam Cole front for the most part. That'll probably be a big story next week. So, like I said, we're at the eye of the storm at the moment.
I mean, let's face it, we got 5 shows in on Wednesday plus the news, which really covered a lot of what was going on. And you're right. I mean, the Adam Cole thing is definitely a big thing going on in the news right now. But I mean, I got to tell you, us sitting here speculating on it really doesn't do anything. I don't know where he's going. Smark doesn't know. The only person that knows where he's going right now is Adam Cole. Now, I know there were all these rumors. Oh, he canceled his Twitch show for tonight. Something came up. Yeah, maybe he decided to fucking get laid. You know what? Maybe he decided to, go out to eat with Britt. Who knows? But everyone immediately speculated he's going to be on SmackDown. I don't know. I watched SmackDown. I didn't see Adam Cole. So let's fucking, Jesus Christ, you people and your goddamn just insinuations. Oh, he canceled his Twitch. Is going to be on SmackDown. Good God. Calm the fuck down, everybody. My God, I feel like fucking Don Tony right now, bitching about other fucking podcasts and websites. Jesus. Let me shut the fuck up.
Don Tony.
No!
Don Tony. No, I will say real quick, though, I was in a chat room watching SmackDown. I will not incriminate myself any further by giving more details. But when they announced that Dominic was going to have a mystery opponent, I was seeing just the chat room literally flooded with Adam Cole and or Brock Lesnar. And when Sami Zayn came marching up and down the ramp, I was fucking thrilled. I was like, there are so many people that are just absolutely furious right now. And by the way, another aside, when he won the match and started go dancing over Dominic's beaten body, I'm glad he's back.
You know what, though? That was kind of brilliant of WWE with Adam Cole teasing what he teased, them teasing a mystery opponent. Everybody was probably thinking, oh, Adam Cole's coming out. Adam Cole's coming out. And then Sami Zayn comes out. It's like, meh, same old shit. Okay. But it was a good match, and Sami Zayn always is fucking amazing when he's out there, whether it's in the ring or just out there to cut a promo. It's always good shit by Sammy. So, but yeah, just not a lot of stuff. You know what? We can get into the NWA pay-per-view. It's this Saturday, right, Smark?
I
believe so. I didn't think anybody would want to get into that. Give me 1 sec. I'll pull up the old Empower card. NWA Empowerer card. We'll pull that up right here on Wiki Dicky. Give me a minute here, and we'll go to the. They don't have a list of matches right now.
Well, it's over the weekend too, so
it's
Saturday is Empower, and then the Sunday is the 73rd anniversary show. So
yeah, I'm trying to find. This is not what I was looking for. Let's go with NWA Empower.
I have both of them. I will see if there's a card here. Give me just a second.
I got it.
Okay. I got the card for the Empower.
Okay, go for it, man. Yeah, you go ahead. Go for it. I'll close my internet. Go for it.
All right, we got Camille versus Layla Hirsch. That's supposed to be for the NWA Women's Championship. The Hex, Alison Kay and Marty Bell. Marty Bell versus Hell on Heels. Renee Michelle and Sahara 7. I've never heard of her, but hey, whatever. Red Velvet and Killian King. She's been doing a lot of AEW dark matches.
Yep.
Versus the Free Babies. The Free Babes. Jazzy Yang, Hollywood Haley J. That's a lot of H's there. I like it. And Miranda Gordy. I wonder. Anyways, Hex on Heels winner versus Velvet, and then so whoever wins this match versus whoever wins the aforementioned Allison Kay Marty Bell Hell on Heels match will be competing for the women's tag team championship. You got Deonna Purrazzo versus Melina Perez. A lot of P's there. For the Impact Knockouts championship. You got Bianca Curry, that's Santino Morella's daughter, versus Chelsea Green versus Debbie Malenko's daughter, versus Lady Frost versus Jamie Senegal, versus Genocide. I like that as a name. It's a pun. Very good. Versus Kiera Hogan versus Masha Slamovich, or Misha Slamovich, I believe it's pronounced, versus Thunder Kitty versus Tootie Lynn. That's quite the name. Chick Tormenta versus Diamante versus Kylie Ray in a promotional triple threat match. Kenzie Page versus Paloya Mayfield with Taryn Terrell in her corner. Very good. Sky Blue versus Christy James, I believe, is going to be opener based on the way this card's shaped. So that's interesting.
There's going to be some good matches on there. Taryn Terrell, good to see her back. I always like seeing the name Taryn. It's my wife's name. And a very odd name. You don't see it very much. Taryn. So there's that. Lady Frost, I believe, is out of Alaska, I believe. You that's going to be an interesting one. That you completely robotic there.
Yeah, she's been on the Indies for a minute, so yeah, she's been out there making her name.
Yeah, I believe she's out of Alaska, but that's not going to be a bad card right there. I think it might not be a bad show. I don't, not sure if I'm going to watch it or not. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't want to make any promises, but it's definitely a possibility I will. But the card definitely does not seem bad. A lot of women from a lot of different companies, different places, and could be fun to watch. Could be fun to watch. So,
oh man, but I'm excited to talk about this anniversary show card.
Which one? The what? Which one?
The 73rd anniversary show. The 73rd anniversary show card. I'm excited about this.
Go for it.
And I will definitely save the best for last. But in primary chronological order here, it's going to be 12 people that are to be determined. It's a battle royal to determine the number one championship. It's going to be the opener, presumably Tyrus. All
right.
Tyrus is versus Dub Hope. And the end. A lot of Elijah Burke still out there making a name for himself. Aaron Stevens and J.R. Kratos, the big man that are Kratos versus Love Ribbon. Batista.
Batista's going to be there, really? Wow.
Echo Wolf 450. Big Dave, and he's worshiping the devil again. He's going back to his OVW gimmick.
Go ahead.
I can't help what this man's name is. That's how it's pronounced in Spanish, so it is what it is. Chris Adonis versus James Storm for the NWA National Championship. A title versus career match. Nick Aldis, career on the line. Nick Aldis still has the NWA World Championship. Camille or Layla Hirsch versus the NWA Women's Invitational Cup Gauntlet winner. So we'll
Camille.
Mickey James versus Kylie Ray in a singles match. But I was saving the best for last, as I promised. We have a triple threat match. It's just a brawl in the loop. It is what is being advertised as. You got Tom Lattimore versus Crimson versus everybody's favorite, God's gift to professional wrestling, Storm.
Who? Last person was who?
Tim
Storm.
His mama's favorite wrestler.
Absolutely. Wow, that is a interesting card right there. So I'm more interested in the women's card.
Actually, me too. one is
Yeah, I think I'd rather watch In Power than the anniversary show. But cool. NWA's got a lot going. That's over the whole weekend, huh?
Yep. Saturday and Sunday.
All right. Well, since you're breaking up even worse than you were earlier, and we're actually done anyway, I guess we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We'll try our hardest to get plugs done. We'll see if Smart can get through those bad boys. Like I said, I don't know if it's his internet or my internet, but one of our internets is sucking big donkey dick tonight, and I do apologize for that. But let's go ahead and get into this, and we'll go ahead and knock out plugs real quick. And that means you guys want to check out the High Marks. That's right. It's Cheeseman. It's Mojo. It's G-Wiz. It is on Sunday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Mixer.com/Metal Mit Network. That's right. I did not stammer. I did not stutter. There is two T's. Mixler.com/Metal Mit Network. Definitely check out the High Marks over here. And you can also check them out on YouTube. And, of course, you've got the Inhumans over there. You've got Bobby Anthem, Bobby Blades over there, the Inhuman Experience. Check them out on all the usual podcast platforms. While you're there and searching for shows, check out the Everything Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. It's Eric, it's Doug, it's Daniel. They are over there having a great time always. And you can check them out on all those podcast platforms. You get your podcasts, and on Blog Talk Radio. And, of course, while you're browsing the internet, go over there and show some love to Stephen Milan over there on Letterboxd, BOXD.com/Stephen Milan. Put 2 L's in Milan. And, again, you guys know where to find us. You can find us on Stitcher, iHeart, Anchor, YouTube. Definitely get over to the YouTube. And anywhere else. Go ahead, Smart.
That's it. Mondays, 8:30 p.m. on the Metal Mid Podcast Network on the Mixler Machine. Cheese on Sports is your destination for everything related to balls. How about it? Sundays, 10:30 a.m. on the Metal Mid Podcast Network on the Mixler Machine. The Modirk City Machine Guns with Mojo, with Dirt, and last but never ever least, be sure to check out our friends at Planet This is a Planet Radical Tour podcast with Bobby Anthem, Papa Dave Sincere, and Yuck Nasty Season 1, complete Season 2. Underway. Be sure to subscribe so that you can get both seasons, all for the price of $3.99. So be sure to subscribe.
There you go. Everything to do with balls. Oh, I like that one. That was good. All right. There you go, everybody. And, of course, this is our last show for wrestling on Fridays. I'm going to be bringing back the movie show coming up next Friday, September 3rd. Me and Smark will be back here doing draft day, so don't be coming here expecting to listen to Rampage or anything. It's going to be the movie show coming back. And not only that, but when I do actors, I am probably going to be doing those live on YouTube, and I'm going to start putting that channel out there. I'm actually still getting it set up. The other one was set under THT Movie Review, which is no longer, obviously, around. But we do have Hollywood Hangout, and I'm going to start that back next Friday with Smark. And I'm excited about that. I actually didn't have internet, so I watched Draft Day again yesterday. Leave me alone. And I am ready to talk about it with you, Smark. I have many questions. I'm going to pick your brain as we're watching that movie next Friday, and I'm excited to jump into that, man. So there you go, Smark. We'll be back.
Same.
All right, we'll be back here Wednesday night, my man. We'll be talking wrestling then, and once again, back to doing movies on Friday. And everybody, enjoy the weekend. Thank you, chat room, for coming on in here. Thank you, downloaders, for downloading this show any way you support this show. It is greatly appreciated. On that note, Wednesday night, see ya.
Adios.
Time to take your drunken ass home. It's alright. If you don't know what to do with yourself, take your drunken ass home.